Snow is really happening. It's really coming down, man. Yeah, luckily a little bit, but not enough to make a problem. That's a lot of light. Yeah, give me a ring. Tell me all over me. What is this here? What do you think, demo?
Oh, this was the remastering of that.
Is this for me or is this for you guys?
I'm going to take that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And you probably don't want to play the Morrison secrets.
I don't know.
It's his best CD. It's his best album.
They gave that to me in Vietnam. It's a nice sound. This thing here, this is, you have to come in, I guess. This is what they had for Billy Bang from Harlem, from Vietnam. I was playing with this guy, trying. I just looked at the map. I didn't have to read it, just looked at it. Reagan, grown again.
But there's that guy, the photographer in Groningen, took pictures of you and Muntu with William and Tony Brown, Anthony Brown.
Yeah, yeah, that was, you know, we was on tour in Europe. We were on tour. That was, we had two different drummers at that time. It was Tony Brown, Anthony Brown for part of it.
Right.
And then Sadiq Abdul-Shahid did the other part. Right. And I remember that tour. That was like our first tour in Europe.
Yeah.
That was a rough one.
Well, William said you were like living in a bare room with like nothing to eat.
Yeah, we were just hanging, man.
Yeah.
Actually, originally, I think that was, I believe that was a David Murray tour. Right. And through this guy named George Copins. Yeah. And then Jamil went back over that summer. I think they found out David wasn't going to make it and gave it to Jamil. So that was either our benefit or something. Yeah. Oh yeah, it is a picture. Oh, this is from Groningen. Well, that's a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody's thin.
Younger too.
Yeah, that's right. More hair, less waist.
That's funny. This is a heck of a book. I think this book is worth it. Just reading the book for the information, you know.
Yeah, I did a lot of.
And it also contains a story about the Lofts era.
About the Lofts, yes. Yeah. I was seeing that in there. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, these are the. I see what you mean by the posters, huh?
Yeah.
That's the flyers, yes.
So if Hank has some.
He probably does. All the ones they have, I pretty much made every one of them.
Yeah.
This is what they probably follow the same pattern.
Well, that's all right. You know, the different dates.
Yeah, different dates.
It'll show different things. You know,
yes,
different places you played. It's all documentation.
Yes, that's true.
That's what we're.
This is nice. This is very nice. Man. This is very well put together. It's encouraging to see this. You know.
Check out the paper.
Yeah, it's
nicely made.
The whole thing is quality.
Yeah.
Quality. It's beautiful. I don't know how you put it back together. Maybe like this. She's paying like $30-something a month rent. 17, like $24 a month rent. That's why you really want out, okay?
Right.
But you can't put that on the table. So in any event, at the end of the whole day, we didn't have any details, because the lady was getting married, the guy was there, the new groom, whatever. So I went over to her and I said, I'm very sorry for this elderly lady, and she was a very sweet lady, but congratulations that you are getting married, and I hope for the best for you. So his daughter told me, she said, getting married? I'm not getting married. What are you talking about? What do you mean married? I said, aren't you marrying this guy here? She said, no, my father, he's so crazy, he brought this guy down. I don't even know this guy. So anyhow, the thing was, it was awarded to the landlord, the apartment was awarded, and it was just a sad day to see all this technology, as I call it, right in front of my eyes, you know, because I'm believing in the system again, I'm believing in our government, everything, you know. I'm finally coming around from Vietnam slowly and trying to believe that if I go to college and go to law school, and I can do this for the world, I can helped
you
us
could
out.
fight for the right people, yeah.
Yeah, and when I saw this, that day I went home, I think I cried a little bit, and I said, that's it for me. I'm gonna go to music. That's the only thing I can trust. I can't trust nothing else no more out here. And that's what happened. That one day changed me like upside down. So I don't think I went back to college. I don't think I did anything. I just went right to the basement where Hank was.
Yeah.
That was it. We had Charlie Parker on the blackboard. That was it. So my mother knew I had gone crazy. She said, this guy really freaked this time. But she always gave me the benefit of the doubt because of Vietnam too.
Right.
So we talked. I said, Mom, that's it for me. I'm just gonna play music. I might not make $1 doing this. And I mean, I can't get a woman because no woman wants a musician. I know I can't get a camera. I can't do nothing. But I'll have peace of mind and heart. So, and I'll be very happy to just be really happy and not fight this world anymore. You know, I had enough of it. You know, so pretty much I just resigned myself to play music. That was it. That was the day I really. Yeah, no, that was the day I made a commitment. That's like Jason was commitment. Right. That's the day I made a commitment. A real pure commitment. I said, that's it. I saw it all. Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, I was still 22 or something. 20. I said, that's it, man. Enough is enough. Ça suffit pour moi. That's it, man. I'm finished with this one. That's me. Forget everything. It was individuals, man. You know, I mean, really, that's what you do. You try to be yourself, man.
Yeah, and the Winton was like the perfect corporate.
Yeah, that's what it was. It sounded like anything else.
Like
it sounded like I had no distinct without a difference. I
heard
nothing, man. I heard nothing. And then it's just a different. It was like a Reagan. It was a Reaganistic type of music, sound, life, monetary value. The whole world just went weird on me. Everything was. It was a lot of divorces during this period. Right. It was all about self. It was not a group thing anymore. It was just a funny, strange period, man. I remember this, man. I remember studying this.
Because that's like when the Lofts started to die, too.
Yeah, it did.
It was like when Reagan took office.
It really did.
Yeah, 1980.
Don't worry, be happy.
Yeah.
Just whatever happens, let it happen. Just don't even think about this shit. Just let it happen to you. Whatever it is, just smile and go with it. You know? Yeah. But it hurt. I know it hurt Frank Lowe a lot because cats were putting him down because he had an individual sound, and he was saying he took it to heart, man. I remember boy, it was like a complicated period. But they were doing it to me too. Right. But I wouldn't listen to them. I don't listen to people, man. I work a logical program. I studied a lot. Don't worry. I know how to differentiate what the ups and downs are. But they will do it to you. I mean, because they will. They would say, don't listen to Bang, put Regina Carter. Right. You know what I mean? So, because it's a sound that people can identify with, you know, a general sound. And it's not threatening. And it's not so dramatic. And it's not...
comforting,
Yeah, it's very comforting. It's very cool.
And that's what people can market, is something comforting.
Yeah. Love Jazz came out this time. I mean, smooth jazz.
Right.
All this stuff, everything was changing. I said, right, God, what is going on?
You don't have to think, contemplate, just let it go. And
so to hear people like yourself and others start going back to another period, I said, wow, this is
the real music.
This is the real music, yeah. That's incredible for me that is still happening. That people still, even if they have to take a step or two back to catch up. Right. I think it's fantastic.
The other thing that always struck me was sort of before Winton, you know, it was the musicians who like said, you know, these are our community leaders. These are the guys with the sound. Right, these are the guys we respect. And that's those were the guys, the record companies kind of listened to the musicians. Right, said, that's true. You know, that's true. And then Winton came in.
Well, he came from another angle.
He came from on top. Yeah, he came from the record company first. Right. And instead of the New York community, say, of musicians, you know, instead of Dizzy Gillespie saying, because Dizzy was alive when Winton came in.
Sure, man.
You know,
oh, yeah.
Dizzy, and Dizzy.
I'm Blakey, too. Right. He played with him.
Instead of those guys saying, this is the shit. Yeah. Winton said, came from on top. He didn't come from out of the New York community.
He didn't come from inside.
From the musicians. And then he started saying, no.
He started different. Because he put his own brother down.
Yeah, right.
When he put down Branford for playing with Sting, I said, oh, this is out, man. Really, what does this got to do with anything, you know? I mean, but it's true, the purity of jazz to me, had no purity.
Yeah.
It was really, it was a dead spot. As a matter of fact, I think that affected me, that period, the 80s. But I was with Sun Ra then, and I was doing
some of your best records then.
Yeah, I put out some records.
Those Soul Note.
Yeah, the Soul Note was good. They were very good.
Charles.
They were pretty good then, yeah. It's just that it was just weird, man. I think I burnt out. I think I burnt out after I did that record with Sun Ra. That's what happened. That's what really happened.
The tribute to stuff.
Yeah, I hired Sun Ra. That was the end of my day. I don't know why I did that. I really messed up. That's one fork in the road I threw a fork in on myself. I said, Sonny, you want to do this record day with me? So he said, sure, Billy, sure, we talking. So I called the record company. They said, Sun Ra don't do records with nobody. Are you crazy? I said, no, he told me he would, man. But Sun Ra was doing it with me because he did one with Stuff Smith.
Right.
Yeah.
And we had to play the same song, Deep Purple.
Right.
I said, who put this on my music stand? I'm not playing this stupid song. What is this? He said, shh, bang, Sun Ra, I want you to play this one. I said, oh, I gotta learn this real quick then. So it was a weird session because I didn't handle the session right. I really didn't. I had on, the horses they put on those blinders. Yeah, I had on blinders that day. Because I should have let Sun Ra really be Sun Ra. He was, but we weren't. When we was in section A, we were really in the A section.
Right.
Sun Ra was in the B section. So there was some like clashing in there. But he was himself. He was into it.
Right,
he was just into Sun Ra. So some of it is good. Some of it I wish I'd never released, man. But that was a historical moment for me. After that, he hugged me. He said, Billy, I won't see you again. I said, well, why? Where you going? I didn't know he was that sick. I didn't know he was that sick. He said, I just want to see you. But he said, it's been great. And then he went back he was in New York. He went back to Philadelphia. I didn't see him no more. And I felt like I killed Sun Ra, man. I felt really weird after this session, man. I really did. I felt weird, man. I didn't want to come back outside for a long time. I was a weird man, I was really weird on this period. I really remember this period, man. It scared the shit out of me. As a matter of fact, I was carrying this kind of thing around me for a while, man. I was trying to quit the music. I was trying to get out of it. Maybe I was trying to quit life, maybe.
Right.
But that's how I moved to Germany. Somewhere thereafter, I got up and went to move to Berlin.
Right.
About 4 years. And then I got it back together again. That's what happened. And then I came back here. Now it's 2000 when I came back.
Right.
And that's when I wrote Vietnam, The Aftermath. And that's when everything was serious for me at that point. Yeah, that's when that was it. No more chances, no more ifs, ands, or buts, no more theories, no more. Now it's really time to do it, But anyhow, that's all that was about. Got these letters.
I do too, man.
He says in these letters, and I was in the legal service because he said, forget that, man. You can't win like that. You can't win like in these letters. He says, man, you can't win like that, man. Forget that legal stuff. I say, well, Bilal, if I'm on the inside, maybe I can help the people who need help, on the inside. And he said, no, you can't help anybody. He was really upset, man. So he got to help influence it too.
Yeah.
But he was up there with H. Rap Brown.
That's who it was.
Yeah, he was up there with H. Rap Brown. Because he followed him. H. Rap Brown, I think, got up before Bilal and went to Atlanta, Georgia. And Bilal ended up in Atlanta. Yeah, I was surprised. He said he come back to the Bronx. He went to Atlanta, Georgia, because they had a big Muslim community.
Right.
But it was many of them, many different Muslim communities. And somehow I found out that they were at war with each other. I don't know.
Right.
Stuff. Yeah, that's how he got killed.
Huh. So H. Rap Brown was in Atlanta too. Is that?
He left when he got out of jail.
Yeah.
He went to Atlanta.
Okay.
He might have gone somewhere in between, but
right.
he ended up in Atlanta.
Right, and that's why Bilal moved up to follow H. Rap Brown.
Yeah, H. Rap Brown was a powerful figure in those days.
Well, I was just
like a Stokely Carmichael.
Right. I was reading a little bit about him after you mentioned him to me. I've got to find his book and read it. But he was H. Rap Brown was supposed to have been like a pretty funny guy too.
Oh yeah, I didn't know.
You know, like a good satirical,
sure.
sense of humor, and it came out in his writing. And it made me think of Bilal's poem.
Yeah, right.
On that, which is very satirical.
Yeah,
I thought, there's. I wonder if that's.
Yeah, it's connected somehow.
Connected.
I remember I was arguing with Bilal about that. I said, I don't want to read that stupid thing on the gig, man. Are you crazy, Bilal? He said, come on, man, come on. That's all right.
Too much.
So, yeah. So how we doing? Everything? You have all the information. I don't have any information. I'm just here, man. I'm at your disposal. Whatever you guys decide how you want to figure this out. What songs go first or second or whatever?
Well, the idea was just to make a project on a Survival Ensemble sessions and release sessions, including the one which...
Oh yeah, that would be great.
Yes. And the material, the music is absolutely stunning, bluesy and great, and it's just a shame that it's not out.
The greatest recordings either. It says not out. Yeah, well that's why we're glad that you showed up on the scene, because I think it is an important period. I know for all of us individually that took place. I was trying to lead that group actually, but it was weird because it was like I was leading it, but it was sort of a collective. But less collective than me leading, because I was getting to work in the gigs and trying to pick out the people and stuff like that. But basically, my whole the motivation that I had was to try to compete with the other bands that were out here, and there was some tough bands around, from World Saxophone Quartet to. I mean, these guys are really tough, from St. Louis, from Chicago, AACM cats and things. But I was around them. And a lot of the guys, they weren't around them like I was. I was around them because I was curious. I always wanted to know who they were. And from a long time ago, from Delmark Records and from Actuel and from all those records I used to have. So I was the one who had the records. Me and a guy named Arno Nems. We both had these records. and then I was trying to keep it like a Bronx group, like something like a heritage from the Bronx. So most of the guys in there were supposed to be from the Bronx. Maybe except for Picard. But basically there were like a lot of lineage from guys who came up in the Bronx, like myself, Bilal, Hank had some relationship to it. Mansa Musa, yes, Kawana.
Right.
All these guys, we all knew each other in the Bronx. Bilal and I knew each other in the Bronx years and years ago when he was going to music and art high school. So,
and William's from the Bronx, but from a different part of the Bronx, from a different neighborhood, right?
Not really. He's from West Avenue. I know where he's from. Matter of fact, he knows people that know me from there. They're literally a few years older, because I'm about 4 years older than William.
Okay.
So I went to high school with some of his friends that was a little older than him. But yeah, I know where he's from. But I used to go to William's house. Matter of fact, William Parker announced this at this festival last 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
He said, Billy Bang used to come to my house, and my mother used to make us chicken wings and this and that. It went on and on. I said, my God, what happened to this guy? He's just announcing this. And Billy makes the great grilled cheese sandwiches, and he just laid it all on the public. That was
William was living at home with his, parents.
He was.
Until we got married.
Yeah, until he moved downtown. That's funny. That's really funny. But I used to go down to the East Village a lot from the Bronx. And the guys in the Bronx thought we were all going crazy, especially me. They said, man, this guy has really lost it. He came out of Vietnam. Now he's walking around with a violin in the parks. And he's going crazy, That's what the guys were saying. But they might have been right. I don't know. But I had to get out the Bronx because I got tired of traveling up on the subway from the Bronx all the way downtown. So East Village, all the way back up. Eventually I told my girlfriend, it was another lady, then I said, sweetheart, I'm going to move downtown. She said, I'm going with you. You're not leaving me. I said, okay, let's go then. So I moved down there because Slugs was down there.
Right.
And I used to go to Slugs a lot. Man. Oh, man. I didn't see, now I'm lucky I didn't see Lee Walker get shot in there. But I used to go in there a lot, man. Slugs.
Did you play with Ra there?
With who?
With Sun Ra?
No, I didn't play from there.
Or was that?
No.
That was probably
I can't play with Sun Ra in the 80s.
Yeah. No, I just wondered if you...
But I didn't. They asked me. You know who asked me was Jack Jackson. 'cause he lived down there. But I didn't. My real problem was I had just got out of the Army, and it was just too much for me to follow orders again.
Yeah.
And when you join the orchestra, it's like you're not an individual so much, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
And which is cool, I understand, but because I understood that, that's why I didn't.
You knew it wasn't for you, right?
It wasn't for me.
Yeah.
No, and plus I was still trying to hone my craft. I was still trying to figure out who I was and what style did I have and what direction was I going.
Right.
I wasn't quite sure. It took me a long time because I remember at times I was going to break the violin up. I didn't want to play it. You know, it didn't sound like anything I've heard. I said I couldn't sound like Ray Nance. That was one thing. Nobody can sound like Ray Nance.
Right.
But still, a violin should sound like a violin, you know, I mean, at least. And my violin never sounded like a violin. But I never was trying to sound like one. I always wanted to sound like a saxophone.
Right.
That was my motivation. But I was still upset at myself that if I wanted to, I couldn't do
You
it.
couldn't
you
get
know?
that pretty,
I
sweet.
couldn't get that. I couldn't even get it, man.
Yeah.
I just not made for me. It's
Yeah.
just not made. It's not in my arm. It's not in my bow. It's not in me at all. So I was gonna break it up one day, and Jack Jackson, he was down there. Speaking of Jack Jackson,
Yeah.
and I was complaining. I said, "Man, I can't do this. I can't." And he says, "Man, I know 100 guys who want your sound, have an individual sound like you got. You got something everybody wants, and you don't want it. What, are you crazy?" Blah, 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 blah. So I thought about what he said. I said, maybe he's got a point there. Maybe I should just stick with this thing.
Yeah.
And I did. So it was... So it was
Thanks
funny.
to him. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He's another guy. But a guy that really took me kind of on his way in those days was a guy named Wilbur Ware.
Yeah.
Wilbur Ware.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, he really did, man. He liked what he was doing. He just liked it. He just kind of liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He used to sit right in front of my gig, right in front, and I felt intimidated, you know. I said, "Oh my goodness, he's sitting right there, man. What am I gonna do here?" But C Sharp used to hang with him. C Sharp would come around. He said, "Man, Billy Bay, that guy loves you, boy. That guy loves you. Wilbur loves you, man." And it seemed like every bass player I played with name was Wilbur.
That's right, Wilbur Morris.
Wilbur Morris, Wilbur Little in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
I played with him a few times over there. Wilbur, who else? Wilbur Ware?
Yeah.
Not a lot with him, just
Right,
jam. And another guy named Wilbur.
And William, he's at least got the first three letters. Yeah, right.
Will, man.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah.
And Hank in the basement.
Yeah, that was the basement was like a home for guys who were homeless, kind of. People didn't have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
And then Hank was down there. He was downstairs for a long time. And he met the lady he's still with right now, Coach Run. She lived upstairs.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. And when he moved upstairs, I thought that was the last time I see him. Hey, he was upstairs for a while. Now he's like warm now. Now he got like a shower and stuff, food. And then they eventually moved to Mount Vernon. So they've been there a long time. I mean, 40 years or something. I don't know. But it was a place where all kind of cats would come in and out because it was like a real basement. And the guy that ran it, he was a superintendent of the building. It's right on William Parker's block.
Is that right?
The exact same block. Do you know where William lived?
Yeah.
Where William lives, say this is Avenue A, right?
Yeah.
He lives right about here.
Yeah.
This basement thing was right here on the other side of the street.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, right across the street.
We probably,
Oh, you passed it many times.
yeah. In fact, the picture of commitment,
Yeah.
the one that I'm in, you know, that was taken
Really?
last year, that was probably right in front of it. Because we
Right in
walked
front of it?
across the street.
Okay.
William's apartment was in shadow, so we crossed the street and went a little diagonal up
Could
the
have
street.
been. I was very close to it.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
I bet we
We
were
used to
in.
call it the basement.
That's funny.
Everybody called it the basement. And if you're looking for somebody, you just stop by the basement. Somebody says, "Oh, he was here half an hour ago. He'll be around 2 more hours." You know, just
Yeah.
kind of a get-together place. You know. But sometimes I was down there for 2 or 3 days because I didn't know upstairs if it was daylight or night. I didn't know what it was. I didn't even care. There was no windows down there. So I was just down there like playing all day, all night with the drummer. I got in Clemson Parker. We probably played for 10 hours, man.
Who was the drummer?
This guy, this time his name was Clemson Parker.
No, I never heard of him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you should remember his name. Mention it to Hank.
Clemson Park.
Yeah.
Okay.
Clemson, CLE. You know, Clemson actually helped us out in a way, because he was close with Rashid Ali, and I think he was the guy who allowed Rashid to meet us. You know, like
To bring you two together.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Because Ali's Alley was the biggest place for me. You know, there was everybody had their individual loft day.
Right.
I wasn't a big ladies' fort guy,
Right.
but that's where a lot of stuff was going on. But I was a big Ali's Alley guy. Ribby was cool. So some places, yeah, Studio Wee was a little different because it was upstairs.
Right.
Maybe so the physicalness of it.
Right.
It was more like a workshop. It was like the University of the Streets,
Okay.
sort of.
Yeah.
Because Muhammad and them on 7th Street had that. I started there too. Actually, I spent a lot of time there too. Actually. So people had their little home front kind of thing, you know.
Right.
We had one, but it wasn't as it wasn't like set up like these other places had instruments and things and had concerts, but we were at someplace nice. It wasn't really like the other places. It was a place to perform. It was a small place, very small. But I liked Ali's Alley because Rashid, when you played there, you felt like, wow, here's a guy giving you a chance, an opportunity.
Right. Sounds like it was a nice place. I mean, they served.
Oh, it was very nice. Oh, it was very nice.
Yeah.
It was first class for me. I mean, I could have done better. And when I played there with Survival Ensemble.
Right.
So the guy who came through there one evening was he would give you like 4 or 5 nights, which was great. You know, you could really get your music together. And one evening, Verna Uglinger came from Hat Hut Records.
Hat Hut, yeah.
You know Hat Hut, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, from Hat Hut Records.
Yeah.
Or Hat Art, I think they changed it now, but it used to be Hat Hut. And he heard me play with the Survival group, that group. He said, "Well, I really like this group, but I only have an idea for you to do something." I said, "Really? Not the whole band, with the whole band?" He said, "No, I need for you." So I said, "Well, maybe I don't have a choice. Maybe I need to do this, you know." So we organized a solo concert that I did for him at a Japanese gallery here in New York. And that was my first record, actually.
Not Big Exception.
That was
distinction
called,
without a difference?
Yes,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is. That's true.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. You got it right. And I did that. And I only did 2 records from him. Because after that, Dennis Charles and I did one.
Yeah,
Bank
Bank
Exception,
Exception,
yes. but it helped me. It helped me to get the name out, to help. But that was at Ali's Alley. That's why I mentioned that. Because that happened at Ali's Alley.
Wow.
I met him at Ali's Alley. Then we met the next day or 2 at some restaurant on the west side, the village. And then, yeah. That's one thing always leads to another. So, but that was so Rashid did so much, man. Every time I look at him, I always say how much he did for me, you know.
Right. Did you ever play with him?
Rashid, yeah, actually.
You got him.
You know, I'm sorry he passed on because he kept telling me over and over and over he wanted to release this tape we did together. Rashid played with the greatest cats out there, but some gigs he never played before, which is strange. He'd never been to California. He was out there one time with some kind of rock kind of auspice.
Yeah.
And when he came out there with me, it was the first time he did like a jazz thing. And we did it for Concepts through Art Sato.
Right.
And anyhow, there was 2 nights, and he loved the music. He loved it. He recorded live, Rashid.
Right.
He sets his equipment right up.
Yeah, he was
don't mess
Mr. Do It
around.
Yourself, yeah.
But he kept telling me, he said, "Bang, this shit is happening, man. We got to put this out. We got to put this out." I said, yeah. You know me, I'm a real lazy guy, man. And, but till this day, and he's gone now, we never did.
Yeah.
He gave me a copy, but I gave the copy away. I don't have that copy. I know I gave that away. I just gave it to somebody. Somebody wanted to hear it. I said, "Here, man, just take it." I guess I don't have a possessive thing about the music. I wish I would have been smarter and held on to all my
You should have
stuff.
learned from William and Trujillo.
I don't learn from
man.
anybody. I have a hard head, man. I have a very hard
Profit
head.
by their example.
Yes, but you know what the truth is? If I start hoarding the music, I have a different concept of it for me. That it's just for the world. I don't know. I have a different polemics on how that works, you know. But at the same time, you're right. But I have learned since then, though.
Well,
Trust me.
you keep your logbooks now. That's good.
I keep a lot of stuff down.
I'm glad to hear that.
But it's just true, yeah. But it's kind of like the.
Well, it's hard when you move around a lot. And I mean, you,
Yeah, I did move a lot
Yeah.
for some years. I lived like the violent gypsy.
Yeah.
Truly like a gypsy. You know. So then they'll go get their friends, come back with more people. And eventually we started talking. Found out they were from Groningen, in Netherlands.
Oh.
Yeah. And then they remembered me because I played at the festival there.
Right.
And they said, man, Billy Bay, you went from the basement to the top. They were really amazed by that, you know. It's funny. But this, anyhow, I'm saying all that because this is the rooftop of that building. So I think this guy, John Dent, was one of the artists that worked there. I wouldn't know where to find this guy. I think he just did me a favor. This is a rooftop of a matter of fact, it should say that. It really should say that here somewhere. Well, it just says Long Island City. Project Studio 1 in Long Island City, Queens. That's all it says, though. Huh. It's Galvin. That name sounds familiar. I think he worked at WKCR. Boy, there's some old names here. Casanova Sugiyama? I don't know.
I'm gonna email him again and see.
Peter Kuhn is involved. That's funny. This guy just called me the other day.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, Peter Kuhn. He's in California.
Yeah, Python Pete.
Yeah, you know him?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, sure, man.
You know this guy got snakes and things?
Yeah, that's what he raises.
Man. You the only other guy I ever heard knew this.
Oh yeah.
Fred Lowe told me this.
I've been in touch with him. I was gonna
Really?
try and interview him, but
Oh, wow.
I haven't set it up yet.
Python Pete. That's a funny name.
That's what his website is called.
Oh,
man.
I didn't know
yeah.
that. Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Beautiful animals, man.
Really?
Oh,
He's
yeah.
got all these snakes out there? I wouldn't go near this guy,
wouldn't
man.